No, it's not Ken and Barbie's pink dream home, but it is our dream home here in the Florida Keys. And today I'm going to show you the outside of our house and mainly the boat ramp and our boat dock and what was important to what I was looking for in our dream home. All right, so this is our home here in the Florida Keys. It took a lot of work to find a home that checked off everything on our bucket list. This one did so and more. The only thing that we were looking for when we were shopping for a house was a home with a pool in the yard. Thought it'd be really nice to have that. But this one did not, but checked off almost everything on our bucket list. So our home is 2,600 square feet, has 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. One of the nicest things about this place, and we weren't looking at it, this is not on our list and hadn't even thought about it until we went through our first hurricane, but our lot is raised. It's 9 feet above sea level to the bottom of the house. So we're definitely up higher than any other home in the area down here. It was the only home during Hurricane Irma and a year ago during Hurricane Ian where the first floor areas did not get flooded. During Hurricane Irma, which was a direct hit on Cudjoe Key here, the water line came right up below the door sills all the way across, but no water in the homes whatsoever. The other nice thing about this house is we've got one of the only hurricane rooms built in, and it's a solid concrete, all 4 walls, the ceiling are all concrete, built to withstand a major hurricane. Nice safe place to stay with the family, so don't really need to evacuate other than the fact that you're likely going to be out without power and water for a while after storm, but our hurricane room is well stocked with all the supplies that we would need. So this is our house, but the interior, the size, the bedrooms, all that weren't my top of my priority list. Here, things that I was really looking for in the house were, and a must-have list, was a boat dock big enough for both the center console and our flats boat. So our dock seawall is 100 feet long, plenty of room for our 26-foot center console and our 19-foot flats boat, and room with to spare on that. So really nice. Other thing I really wanted, and for anybody that's watched any of the boat ramp videos that are out there, you can see what a nightmare boat ramps can be. And I'm sure people that come down to visit that don't have a dock or they're bringing your boat down, you always have to contend with boat ramps. And I'm not worried about myself in the boat. My wife, my daughters can all handle the boat trailers really well. But I always worry about how other people are driving and acting, get a little impatient at boat ramps. So I was really looking for a place that had a fully usable boat ramp. And by fully usable, I'm talking about having full access to back your trailer all the way into the water. Most boat ramps down here, the homes, when you get to this edge of the seawall, it's just cut out and it's just a straight drop down to the bottom of the canal. So you can't really back your trailer all the way into the water and really have to wait for a high tide for water to come up on the boat ramp to make it usable. Our ramp, it's nice, gradually drops down all the way up to the center of the canal. So fully usable, I can drop the big trailer, dual axle trailer in for the large boat and no problem at all with the flats boat trailer. One drawback is our ramp, it's 12 feet wide, which gives me room on both sides of the big trailer, but it's a tight squeeze getting the big trailer down here. Flats boat, no problem. The other thing you'll notice is we have a sandy boat ramp. The previous owners liked it having it set up as a beach area for their daughters. We actually like it a lot. It's great for launching the kayaks and stand-up paddle boards down, not having to walk down the hard concrete or gravel in your bare feet. So we love having the sandy boat ramp. So we've kept it. We've added sand to it. Just a real nice feature, but can make it a little tough on the tires and the 4-wheel drive pulling the boats out of the water. But that's it. That were big things for us on that. Another thing I was looking for was this straight access to open water. So what that means is a canal that goes directly into one of the main bays or out onto the ocean. I've been to homes and looked at homes that are in canals that are a half mile or more away from the open water. And the water in those, they can be nice, but it tends to get really stagnant and they get a nasty smell after a while. especially during the hot summer months. So I was really looking for a place that had straight access to the ocean. So our canal was about 150 yards in length from the bay, Cudjoe Bay, to the end of the canal. It is straight in and out. So it gets flushed in and out several times a day with the tide. So our water stays pretty clear and nice and clean and does not smell. We're also at an angle out onto the bay where we rarely get any seaweed getting blown into our canal, which is an added bonus. Other thing I was looking for outdoor wise was just an outdoor entertainment hut. You see, we've got the tiki hut here, got some really nice lights on it. We spend a lot of evenings out here with our family and friends, dining and just hanging out at the end of the day. So that's a look at it. I'm going to show you our boat ramp in access because they're in action. That was one of the key things for us in making the decision on this house, was that full boat ramp. Okay, here you get to see the boat ramp in action. My daughter has backed the trailer down to the water for me. And moms, dads, teach your daughters how to haul boats, back trailers down. Both my daughters and my wife are as good or better than I am at it, but it's nice having extra people around that can do it. And they're going to be spending their lives on the water. It's great having them able to do this. But when we do go to public boat ramps, people are always shocked to see me out on the boat and watching one of my young daughters backing the boats down into the water. It's a proud dad moment, and wish every dad would teach their daughters to haul boats, back the trailers down. She's really familiar with all our hand signals for getting the boat up, how far it needs to be, hauling the boat straight up and out of the water here. And I just love being able to do this. And again, it was one of the things I was looking for in the house. It lets me get the boat out, get service work done on it, and get the boat right back in the water without having to haul it around to a marina where there's a public boat ramp. Just makes it so easy. And I'm noticing I need to cut the branches down hanging over the boat ramp. They're starting to hang down a little bit and hitting the T-top as I'm coming out. Here I'm just double checking the spacing. As I mentioned earlier, our boat ramp, it's fairly narrow. If we were centered up properly, I'd probably have about a foot on either side of clearance, which is nice. But just have my daughter take her time as she's pulling the boat out, make sure we're not scraping anything, and we are all good to go. But again, my shop is right alongside the boat ramp, so all my tools, everything I need to do service is right there. So it makes it super convenient having this in and out. And I also love the boat ramp for launching the stand-up paddleboards, kayaks, if we're just going out paddling for lobsters or just for an evening paddle. Again, quick and easy to get the boat pressure washed, get the scum line off the edges. Even though I've got anti-foul paint on the boat, you still get stuff build up on the edges where it's sitting in the sun all day. I've had the boat in the water for 3 months now without hauling it out, and it was all in all in pretty good shape. A little bit of buildup. Here I'm just cleaning fish bait guts and fish blood off the side of the boat that I missed with the hose. I also pull the props off, give my drive shafts a really good inspection whenever I pull these out. So just going through, make sure it was clean, make sure there's no fishing line tangled up in there. And then I also, every time I haul this out, which is at least every 100 hours, and drain the lower unit oil, I always try and keep that fresh and clean. Do not want a lower unit going bad while you're out in the ocean. I had that happen once a few years ago, and it was a long trip in on one engine because the boat does not get up on plane with just one engine. So staying on top of this. The other thing I like to do is just top off the engine trim and the power steering trim fluid. This is something I can't do while the boat's on the water. Here, just squeeze it in until it starts flowing back out. Give it a good squeeze and overflow. If there's something you do on your own, never open that up while the engines are down because it is under pressure. It'll come flying out and you'll lose all of that, and then the engine will drop in a little bit. So make sure your engines are fully raised. Should have had the engine lock on just for safety on there. You can see it just above my hand. I did not do that, so shame on me. Then once it's all done, boat's back in the water, it's to the tiki hut for a cold beer. Enjoy the afternoon before I head on out. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week on Lower Keys Living.